What can you tell us about where you are this morning?
A very good morning to you, Desiree. As you have correctly indicated in your intro there, we expect President Ramaphosa to come here to really inspect the facilities. You'd remember that the Minister of Human Settlements and Water and Sanitation announced that they'll be rolling out a number of tanks and tankers to try and meet the demand of water. Remember, during this period of COVID-19, the issue of hygiene is quite key, and many of our people in the country are still struggling. But what the government has decided to do is that they need to ramp up that kind of service delivery so that many of the people can be able to really benefit. But Desiree, with me is the spokesperson of the Water and Sanitation Department, Sputnik Ratau, who will be able to then tell us what more is expected to happen here when the president arrives. Mr. Ratau, you know that South Africans have been complaining about the issue of water. But somehow it looks like the government is able to come to the party because of this coronavirus. What is it that the president is going to be telling the nation or inspecting here today?
Well, as you correctly put it, the issue of the coronavirus has really put us on a bicycle, and that is why, as per the direction of Minister Sisulu, coming from the pronouncements of the president, the minister decided that we should have a central place where we are able to do a whole command of the manner in which we deliver as the two portfolios that she is responsible for, that is human settlements as well as water and sanitation. And based on the fact that Rand Water has got the facility that is able to give us the connectivity across the country, in all the provinces, we are able to speak to our provincial heads, we are able to speak to the municipalities and the water boards all at once from a central place, so that we can be able to know exactly what is happening where, whether we are delivering water tanks, whether there are tankers in place, and what the needs are continuing to be, or whether they are being reduced. So on a daily basis, this is where actually everything is being coordinated from, with a report that goes to the DG every evening, so that he can then update the minister on a daily basis.
Well, there's been a concern from many communities that they've been struggling with the issue of water. But now it appears the government is capable of delivering water. What has been holding the government from doing what it's supposed to do?
Well, we have been able to deliver quite substantially since the advent of the new democracy, but obviously not completely, because we have not yet attained universal access. That's a fact. But what the state of national disaster has allowed is for us, is for all of government working through new regulations that National Treasury put in place in order for us to be able to do the necessary procurement that can look after the disaster issues. Then that opened up the opportunity for us within the ambit of the PFMA to be able to procure quickly, to be able to procure even in manners that we would not have been able to do normally. But also the fact that we have to intervene because it's a national disaster. Remember that as a national department, we are responsible for the bulk delivery of water and sanitation services, but the reticulation, which is at the hands of local government, needed another impetus to be able to get to the party, and that is why we are here.
So what is the capacity of Rand Water? What is it able to do? I mean, people normally hear about Rand Water, but they're not sure what is it that is able to do, and then is it doing that to its capacity, or somehow it's lacking here and there?
We must remember that Rand Water's mandate is to deliver potable water primarily to the province of Gauteng, and obviously the industrial and economic hub of the country. And that it is doing, and it's doing very perfectly and within the mandate and the constitution and the rules, and that it is doing. But what it has allowed us to be able to do is to say that because they've already got the capacity of connectivity, then we are able to locate our activities in one place, so that whatever it is that comes up at any time, be it from the PCC that is chaired by the president through the minister, or the NetJog where our DG sits, units, then we are able to make sure that those things are actually going to the lieutenants on the ground as quickly as possible, because without that kind of immediate and ongoing interaction, we would not be able to deliver as we are doing now.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
There was the spokesperson there of Water and Sanitation, Sputnik Ratau, basically telling us that the coming of the president to this place really is to look at the coordination of the announcement that was made by Minister of Human Settlements, Minister Lindiwe Sisulu, because Rand Water has the capacity, has the know-how, so they would be able really to connect with everyone in the country as they try to roll out this issue of water. I mean, they have said they would be able to issue about 40,000 tanks that will benefit the great number of people across the country, and of course a number of tankers. In fact, this will not be restricted to the COVID-19 situation. They want this to be the legacy beyond COVID-19. There you can see that somehow delivery will happen, but perhaps, Desiree, the question is, if they do indicate and demonstrate that they are able to deliver as quickly as possible to as many people as possible, so what has been the hold up all these years?
Mzwayi, our question today on the show is related to what you just said. We're asking our viewers if COVID-19 has acted as a catalyst to service delivery, which is quite unfortunate, isn't it?
Well, it's actually, you know, even in bad situations, Desiree, there would always be positives out of it. I think what many people have really seen is that in the times of crisis, South Africa and South African government particularly can actually wake up and work and be seen to be working. When you look at some of those briefings that the ministers have been giving, I mean, generally people have been impressed to say, so these people are able to deliver as much as possible, but somehow it has not been happening. So this issue of water, and particularly to the rural areas, so is really a classic example to say, for many years, people have been saying, so we don't have access to water, so we're struggling, we don't know what to do. But all of a sudden, so we can see that those issues are now being attended to. So clearly, this will have to be the legacy. But beyond this coronavirus that is threatening everyone, so I think South Africans will hold government to the very standards that it's setting to say, well, we have seen that you are able to deliver, continue doing it.
Absolutely. Mzwayi will await that arrival by President Cyril Ramaphosa at Rand Water, not very far from where we're broadcasting from here at the Nasrec Center in terms of our remote studio. But let's say goodbye